All right, good afternoon, everybody. Those of our friends here in the US, those in Europe and other places, we want to say good afternoon to you. And those of you guys who are joining us from Liberia, Monrovia, Liberia, the homeland, motherland, we say good evening to you. I know you guys have been having a blast, having a good time, enjoying the
I
content.
know.
And look, man, I always say next year my content is going to be on top. Grandpa, so 1 year we just got to do it. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm with you on that. So hopefully, when Grandpa make it, we gotta make it on that. We gotta go see that game. I'm already
Bro,
wearing my red already in support of Grandpa. So once they make it, I'll be there. But it was a great game. I saw it, and it was good. Yeah, it was good. It was a good game today.
forget the game, my brother. But I think one of the things I really enjoy. But you know what? We don't want to get ahead of the show. So those of you who will be joining us, share the broadcast, share the show, and we are just going to be having fun today. We are going to be talking. Every time we talk about the motherland, it's always a fun stuff.
Yeah,
Our platform Liberia Shall Rise. We truly believe that, and so whether we come here, we do criticism. We come here, we say the good thing. I'm more hard on myself than I am on anybody else. So if I'm hard on my country, it's simply because I said a lot of wonderful things. My coworkers and myself and people I talk to, when I finish talking about Liberia, they can want visit Liberia. I'm not joking.
and that's
Because
how it's supposed to be, brother. That's how it's
yeah,
supposed to be.
when I finish talking about Liberia, people want to go to Liberia. So when I come here and run my mouth and say something, it is not to discredit the country, but it's to make the country to be a little bit vibrant. But today we're going to have fun. Dr. Positive, man, before we get to the content, me, like I said, people need to be sharing the broadcast. They need to be sharing what we're saying here, and share it on your Facebook page. You're not going to get in trouble. Share it on your YouTube page, your Instagram, wherever you share stuff. Share it so this information can go out.
Yeah,
But
thanks for that advertisement, Mr. Sharif. And like we said, this year we're doing some interesting topic. We'll be talking about the hidden heroes in Liberia. And last night I did one, brother. You won't imagine. I went to Cathedral High School Alumni Association reunion
hmm,
event that they are planning for March 28th. And this year they will be honoring a professor called Stephen Thompson.
hmm.
Stephen Thomas, actually, Stephen Thomas, this professor, he was a principal for from 1980 all the way probably to 1989 or something like that. It said he served for 19 years.
Oh
And this
wow.
guy had a whole lot of impact on so many people's lives. People were talking how this guy helped them with their school fees, put them on scholarship. They who couldn't afford to pay school fee, they had skills. So the cathedral is going to be talking about, going to be having this event, and I took our camera, Liberia Shall Rise camera, out last night. And I think we're getting a lot of feedback from the students of Cathedral, and hopefully their event will be great. But they actually going to sponsor Liberia Shall Rise broadcast too, just to show us their support. So I'm going to grab the flyer next Sunday, and we'll show that flyer to the people in support of Cathedral Alumni Association. But this is just a pre-teaser of their advertisement. So
Man, I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Cathedral High School was one of those schools. I live right next to Cathedral, Snapper Hill there. I live
Okay.
right there, and so I was real close to Cathedral High School. I had some wonderful friends in Cathedral, and a lot of good things I can say about Cathedral. But the only time that I will ever say, I hated Cathedral was, when it came to Meet the Challenge, because I was on my Meet the Challenge team in
I
Cathedral.
knew that was coming.
Yeah, Cathedral High School, they were one of those schools, man, that always gave a challenge. But one year, I think it was the 96, late 97, 98 Meet the Challenge year. Unfortunately, they did not make it, and we went on their own campus because they were hosting the national radio program. We went on their own
Mhm,
campus in our pink and black SDA High School, man, and show off on their own campus and use their radio Veritas at the time to
mhm,
broadcast the program. They did not make it. So
mhm.
that's one time I can always tease Cathedral. But apart from that, great respect for that school, great institution, and I'm just super excited that we are able to kind of link with them and do something together. So hopefully they can definitely stay around with us for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping because we are the first that promoting their event too. So hopefully it turns out well for all of us and will keep us as their promoting channel.
And I want to say special hello there to my Bassa brother, River Says Pro. I don't know if he's from Grand Bassa or he's from River Says, but one way or the other, me and myself related.
Yeah.
So we will one day we'll win the content meet. But I want to start with the content meet, Stephen, just to kind of talk about it. The energy I see in the country, man, when the content meet is ongoing. I know I talked about this a little bit last week, but the energy I see in the country, it always reminds me of what was happening during the Civil War, even when the war was raging, when things were difficult. But if they have to stop fighting for a little bit so Liberia can just participate in the game, the qualifying series, and anything, the country came together and all the warring factions went a separate way. It is the same
Yeah.
thing. See,
Yeah.
counter meet is coming. Look, there are people up there. Hey, Sydney, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Great brother. Sydney Portier, the guy myself, we were in the same high school at one point in time, Monrovia. But
Wow.
I see the same energy when it comes to the counter meet.
Mm-hmm.
Now nobody is worried about the economy, the that. All of that is still ongoing. But when
Mm-hmm.
you see what's happening at SKD and just the national counter meet, the country is united. People are having fun. Politicians are wearing their county T-shirts, and
Mm-hmm.
people are behind it. And the stadium today, especially for today's final, the stadium was crowded and people were still trying to get in while they were
Yeah.
stepping in from the game.
And I saw something from Spoon, which was amazing. You see, they had to block the entrance to the stadium already, right? And then Spoon was like, "Why not go home and sit down and watch this on Spoon
Yeah.
instead of being out here like this? You can watch this on Spoon." So I want to say thanks to all the broadcasting channels in Liberia. I watched it on KMTV too. KMTV covered the game, and I want to thank all of them for covering the game. For some of us out here who didn't get satellite TV and all the kind of stuff, we were able to ride Charlie on their broadcast. So so I want to thank them. Yeah, yeah,
But no,
yeah.
that's a good thing, man. It's a very good thing. And with that publicity and all of that stuff taken care of, we want to get to the good stuff that we want to talk about, right? Earlier this week, there was a report that came out, just like, anything about Liberia, it always catches my attention for some reason. I know it does to
Mhm.
you, Stephen. And
Yeah.
this news just came across my screen, just like, hey, 75 countries banned by the U.S. State Department. 75 countries banned. They have visa freeze. Let's just say it that way, visa free. So they're going to freeze visa. They're going to ban them from obtaining visa. And so the first thing I did was I went through the entire list. I want to see these 75 countries. So I went through the entire list, and as I'm going through the list, I'm crossing my finger. Liberia better not be on this list. Liberia not better not be on this list. But unfortunately, before I could get to the other sections, I saw Liberia right there. So the first thing I started doing, I started making some phone calls, started talking to people. What does this all mean for us? Started reading some information from the State Department to see exactly how all of this actually impact us. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Well, we benefited from it in the first place, And so, Stephen, that's why I want us to start the conversation, man. I want us to talk about this visa ban or the visa freeze, however you want to call it, and I want us to start the
Well,
conversation.
Mr. Sherry, I'll make it a little dramatic for you, right?
Do it, do it, do it.
Imagine yourself on the refugee camp,
Mhm.
right? And they have that list that they used to put up. When that list come up, everybody waiting for that day for that list to come up. So the same way
That's
you're
right.
looking at that paper, that the same way I was looking, like Liberia name. This time I was praying for Liberia name to not be on it. And then
Yeah.
instead of going straight to L, I kind of walked through it so I can feel my way there. When I reached the L and I saw our name there, brother, I felt bad, you know.
Mhm.
But being the person that I am, after I cry and cry, before I came to this show, thought about it, and I was like, oh, this thing is really good for Liberia. In fact, it's good for the whole Africa. This thing is good for the whole Africa. And Riverside Pro and everybody out there, you will hear why I think this is good for Africa because I would say millions of years these countries, America, Europe, all of them been making money from us. And the fact that they said Liberians cannot come.
Oh,
Yeah, you
yeah,
guys
go
will
ahead.
see,
Go ahead.
you guys will see the numbers to see how much money Africans were spending just to get visa application. Just starting from us within the US, like when you apply for your family member, how much it cost you to apply for your family member. And that money, when you add it all up, the amount of money we're losing if we're investing that in Africa. And it's a sad thing that we are sending that money back to Africa, but we basically, instead of using it to make business, instead of using it to do things to develop our country, we're paying for people to come back here to help us in America. And that's where the
So,
money gets wasted.
so before you get to all the good stuff, guys, I want to tell you this is good stuff. Stevie, they may have done his homework. Good stuff you're about to put down here. Again, I just want to tell you, share the broadcast, share the show, invite other people to join, place it on your Facebook page, and just share it as much as you can. Because I'm going to disagree with Stephen today. This man myself always been
I can't wait. I can't wait.
the one since we started this show. We went all the way back to FE. We talk about how the man took my girlfriend, how the man took my. We talk about all that one. We haven't talked about it in a long time. We haven't disagreed in a long time, but today we will disagree.
I can't wait. I would like to hear what you have to say because this one I got proof. I know I'm gonna prove you guys, but I got proof today. So I think the people out there will read my proof and they will see the thing that I did and they will say, yes, Dr.
Okay.
Positive is really positive today.
But okay, here's my thing.
You go first. Go ahead.
I'm going right now. Here's my thing. Because when you really look at it, the visa ban on Liberia, any kind of ban or any kind of freeze on any country for that matter, it is always a negative thing. It is a negative. No matter how you slice it, whether you say, oh, you put a positive spin on it. In my opinion, I think this is where Dr. Positive and I will have this debate. Anytime you are on some kind of list and you are blacklisted, you are blacklisted, it's always a negative against you. Always a negative against you. Now, if Liberia is on the list and say, look, we have a ban, and what the State Department is saying, they are not saying we're just banning you temporarily because we are still friends. Maybe I'm going to change it tomorrow. They ban the whole thing. They are saying Liberians, when they come to this country, I'm not focusing on any other country, I'm focusing on our country. They are saying Liberians, the reason we are banning you, your people, they are beggars and they are actually depleting our economy. When they come to our country, they are on food stamps, they are on government subsidies, and they are using all of these different government programs, and they are actually sucking the lifeblood out of America. That is why we're going to pull you on this ban until you can show your people how to work hard. I'm paraphrasing all of this, but that is the primary reason why they give. And myself included, I live in this country. I know our Liberian people. Look, I don't want to use the word, but it upset me when I read that part on the State Department website that says Liberians are 45 or 48% of Liberians, they are on food stamps and doing this and doing that and doing that. Liberians, the last time I checked, Liberians are very hardworking people. They are hardworking people, and Liberians, they love their life. They love to enjoy life. They love to have hard work. They are hardworking people. Not too many Liberians I would know who come to this country who know all of the rigmarole, how to go about applying for food stamp, government housing, da 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 da. I don't know too many Liberians that do that. Liberians come here, they work. They work. Liberians work. If it costs them to do 3, 4, 5 jobs, they would do it to make sure they make themselves happy and take care of their families back home and buy the most expensive things that they have no business buying sometimes. But Liberians work. Liberians are not dependent on food stamp. Liberians are not dependent on government subsidies. And now, would there be few people? Would there be some people that do that? Yes, of course. But when you look at the data, when you look at the numbers, Stephen, the Americans in this country, They know their system. They know their rules. They are the ones that can go and work 1 hour just to show this federal government I've been working, then get back on food stamp or they get back on housing. I visited 2 homes in last week because of my work that I do. Whom I visited, these people getting money, Caucasians living at home, they're getting money, but they are on housing. They're on housing. That means they're not paying for where they live. And so the poor Liberians and I live. Look, if you want to blacklist Liberians, say, look, we don't want Liberians to come to this country because we are just negative or because we are stereotyping that we don't want immigration in the country, be bold and say that. But don't blacklist our people simply because you want to be racist or you don't want our people in your country, and now you want to come and blackmail them or put something on them and say these people, oh, when they come here, they take too much from the country, they take food stamp, they take government subsidy, they take this, they take that. That's why we're going to put you on this blacklist. That is a negative for my country. It is a negative for our people and our president, our foreign minister. Everybody should be super upset that we are on that list because the money that goes to that country, that goes to Liberia from workers here, it is not government subsidy money. It is hard-earned money that Liberians, everyday Liberians, put their feet down. Some of them have houses. They don't sleep in those houses. They go out to work. They go out to work. So to put them on some kind of crazy list just because you want to ban immigration, that is disservice to the Liberian people. And Stephen, that is where I'm coming from.
Yeah, totally. See, so we can agree to disagree, but we can agree to agree on this one. We ain't got to disagree, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I agree with you that you and myself sitting here,
Mhm.
I can tell you my own story. There was a time I was in school working to get my master's degree. Brother, I was making $7,000 a year. $7,000 a year. I was doing almost 2 jobs, to almost 3 jobs to be in school to afford my school fee and rent and everything, car note, everything. I still had to pay all that, right? I applied for assistance. I was told because I was married folks are not qualified to get
Mm,
that benefit. You understand? And I
mm,
had people that were not in school, that were not doing nothing, that were on food stamp and the government. And I work at a bank where able-bodied people that could run marathon, they will come to that bank. And they were not Liberians though. They were
mhm,
not Liberians. They will come to that bank. As soon as the government gave their money, the reason they signed up with our bank at that time was because we gave early overdraft protection on Wednesday,
mm,
right? So our bank gave overdraft protection on Wednesday. So Wednesday, that Walmart will be packed, right, from people that come and collect their government check.
okay, yeah.
$800, $1,000, $2,000. They deposit that money in their account, and those people come and just clear everything up. Somehow they will even take overdraft protection because we had an overdraft protection too. Every month they will do the same thing. They will come and take overdraft protection. When the money comes, they get it back. But long story short, those folks will come and collect that money and go. And at that bank, I never ever saw one Liberian that was living in that city come to do the same thing that all the other people that are bona fide American, like well, like chicken, they used to come for that money. You understand? So I agree with you on that part, but this is where I want us to think about it, where it benefit Liberia more.
Okay.
You understand?
All
And
right.
if you don't mind, you can just share that one slide first. Let me walk you through. Um,
And yeah, and while I'm sharing this, I just want to say again, I really appreciate all the conversation that's taking place behind the scenes. Dr. Quita Roberts, we appreciate your perspective as always. River says pro, and all the other folks are sending in comments. He said, please share the broadcast. Call all Liberians to come to the show today because this stuff is making me angry that we are on our stupid list. Just get us off that list and tell us we don't want Liberians in our country. We'll take it. But don't put us on a list and come put something on us that is not us. We are not beggars. We are hardworking people, and this is never our case. Stephen, I'm putting it on your screen real quick so you can definitely continue to share and have this here. And there we go.
all right. So folks, if you look at this, right? all along there have been a pro and con of us leaving Africa. There was one thing, the brain drain, capital flight, right? And then the sad thing is, not sadly, but the irony is when we come to the US, we fight to bring our mom, then we fight to bring our sisters, our family member, whoever that qualified to come, we pay that money for them to come. So if you look at this slide alone, it's saying just from airfare, if all the populated African countries in Africa, right? You just take a few of them and you put them together. Just from airfare alone, $4 billion is being spent every year. $4 billion is being spent every year on airfare to come to America if our family members get accepted. And Sharif, I just put the numbers together. Like the process to come to America, if I'm applying for my family member, is about $2,000, right? And then once that person get accepted, that's another $1,500 for plane ticket, right? So $3,500 for you to bring your family member here. And if you put that number together, brother, 1% of every African country in, like, even 1% of Liberia is about 55,000 people, right? Of Liberian population is 55,000 people. So if you take that 1% and multiply by 3,500, 3,500, if that thing happening monthly or every year, if that's happening monthly every year, that's a lot of money that's coming from our country GDP that could be used to do businesses, that could be used to benefit us as a continent. But sadly, we have to bring our family here to help with other family members because we have larger families, so we bring our family here. And like you were saying, when we bring our family here, we can't hustle. We can't wait for welfare because the welfare money is not guaranteed safe, right? It will not pay a bill. It will not do everything for you. So no Liberian will sit down and wait for it to come. But the thing here is that money, when we send the money to Liberia to do all those things to bring people, America is benefiting. But what I'm saying, this is a benefit to us. And Liberia, y'all can get vexed with me, but look at it this way. If we take that money, that same money that we're sending to our family members, or we applying for visa, applying for I-130 to renew visa and all those stuff. Until Trump relieve this thing, for the next 3 or 4 years, that money will be saved in Liberia. Now, I will tell the Liberian government, tell all Liberians, there's a ban right now, so don't go to the embassy to apply. Because when you apply, that money is just going to the American bucket. It's not benefiting you anyway, because once a ban is there, they're not going to accept you. You understand? They're not going to accept you anymore. So Shabby, you can just go to the next slide, but they will not accept you anymore. So don't apply at all. If I was the government, I will ensure my people are not applying because we are losing money. So this is a sample that I grabbed from online. If you look at this here, the amount of money, up to $2,115 that we spend. If you look at it, the $675 application fee, and then if you do the green card. Now, if somebody in Liberia want to do that process themselves, they don't have to pay the $1,440, but they will pay that those other fee to the embassy. And all that money, imagine somebody in Liberia having $1,300 in their pocket to spend, or somebody in America that applying for their family, keeping that $2,000 to say, I'm going to send this to my family member for them to do something if they decide to do business.
I mean, Steve, I get it. I get it. How you said this could be a benefit about people not traveling. It could be a benefit to the people. Do you want to do another slide, or I can stop?
No, we can stop here for now, and I'll continue on the last one to sum up my point to make you know how beneficial this will be. So you can take the slide up now, and you can chime in. Then I'll come back.
Okay. All right. So basically, I can definitely go back how you say this is a benefit for people to keep the money in the country and not be traveling. However, though, here's my thing. All of that is good and beautiful, provided our people were already getting access to visa.
Mm-hmm.
But even before this announcement, if 100 people apply for visa in Liberia, chances are maybe 4 or 5, maybe not even 1% of that will get a visa.
Mm-hmm.
So the denial rate was already high in the country. and people were still going there because everybody still see this place.
Everybody's high hope. Because
Yeah,
and I come and pray on Sunday. My pastor and I bless my passport. So
there
I'm
you go.
going back to the embassy again. Yeah.
And there you go. And you know, and this thing when in Liberia, the basketball used to say when you, I think when you hold the rope will hold the bush or something like that. There was a parable. Dr. Roberts, you can help me with that. When you hold the rope will hold the bush. So it's the same way. When you really start pulling here, you start pulling everywhere. Because these people, our people in Liberia, every day they got some kind of pastor, they got some kind of prophet or prophetess who is giving them vision. I see you traveling, my daughter. God showed me I had a vision about you. You had a passport in your hand. It was not Liberian passport, it was a foreign passport. So every day these prophecies are coming across in Liberia. And because of that, our people hear it from the pastors, they hear it from the prophetesses, hear it from the prophets. And the next thing you know, they start asking their loved one in America, I just need to apply for a visa. Then we send the money, they apply. But the denial rate was already high. It's not like they were giving us visa left and right in Liberia anyway. It's not like Liberians were pouring down, coming to America every year, everywhere. When you look at it, the number of Liberians that come to this country, what's the percentage? You got the numbers there in front of you. And so when you look at that, though, my whole thing about the thing is, you want to restrict immigration to the country. That's fine. That is your right as the head of state. That is your position. Whatever your policy, if your people agree to your policy, go for it. I'm not questioning their decision on that. I'm not questioning the decision. But what I'm questioning is for you to go and tell me that I'm doing this for this reason when that reason is wrong. When you dive into it, that is not the reason for which you're doing it.
And
Reason.
Sharif, not to bypass my respect, but our government currently they can tell true lies, right?
Hmm?
They can tell true lies. So, and those true lies that they tell, people believe them automatically. So, whether you and myself talk about it here all day, the people are already tell their truth. What they believe is their truth. Your
Sure.
government cannot come and say, "Hey, Mr. America or Mr. Trump, you lying on my people." No.
No. That's why my government. I mean, our government, like bro, that's where a foreign policy. That's where a foreign relations is super important, because at this point in time, this is Beslow's. This is her place now to say, look, we like to see the data. We like to see the numbers. You can
Yeah.
demand that. You can demand that. That's why Marco Rubio and Mrs. Beslow, they come together and they sit and look at the numbers. If you are saying that Liberians are depending 45 or 48% of Liberians are on government subsidy, they are on food stamp, I mean, America is a great country. You have data. All
Mhm.
you got to do is push some button, it will spit it out, you pass it on to the State Department and say, look, in 2024, this is the number of Liberians that came to the country, or this is the number of Liberians that we know in the country, and this is the percentage of people on food stamps, or percentage of people on welfare,
Mhm.
percentage of people on government housing. The numbers will be there. They capture all of that. So now, if you cannot produce that number, then our government now, when I say our government, I'm talking about Liberia, our government now can say, look, the data is not supported by what you are saying. Because Stephen, you and myself know, I agree with what you said that people are actually telling their version of the truth. They are doing that. I agree. But that doesn't mean though it is right for you to say that about our people.
And Sharif, I mean, we are again the narrative that these people will put together to get their aims accomplished because they came with a plan, right?
Mhm.
They came with a plan.
Sure.
In some of their video, you see, why can we? He was saying something like, why can we invite people from some of the nicer countries, some of the countries that have better people, right? They
Sure.
don't consider us as better people. They may call us shithole once upon a time,
Yeah.
shithole continent, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So it behooves our leader, Sharif. It behooves our leader again to sit down and say, all right, how long are we going to sit here to be insulted? How long are we going to sit here to let our people be abused, right? And start doing the right thing. Liberia should never be on America's doorstep begging for bread, but yet we are,
But
right?
still, isn't that what they told us when we were young? When I was leaving Liberia, coming to this country, you know what they made me believe? I
Mm,
went to a dean's office. I'm an advisor at the University of Liberia at the time.
mm,
And I asked them about, hey, I'll be traveling. They said, look, you may want to take all your credentials, take some document, your semester, and whatever courses you have done here at the University of Liberia.
mm.
Because when you go, you just got to show that new school you're going to be attending that you got this at the University of Liberia, and then boom, you're just going to pick up where you left off. Lies.
That wasn't true. Yeah, yeah.
Guys, I came over here. I had to sit and do acuplacer. So basically, they lie to us. They tell us that they make it so beautiful that you in America, you got some kind of relationship, but the relationship it's not both ways. It's not both ways.
Yeah,
We are giving 100%. They're not even giving a 10%.
yeah. You say 100. I think we're giving 2,000%, bro. If that number is possible, but that's a reality we have to face, Sherry. Because if our leaders are not sitting down right now, no, everybody's celebrating for the county meet right now. But after that county meet enjoyment, they need to sit down and say, listen, what do we do to put our people to really show our people the value that we have in this country? What do we do to create more jobs? What do we do to encourage our young people, even the people that in America or around the world are sending us money constantly? What can we do to help them, right? To get their properties in Liberia, to help them build businesses. But Sherry, you and myself, let's talk so and talk so. I bought land 2 times. My second land is being taken by somebody who called themselves police officer. He taking my land today because he's in government in Liberia. Then you're telling us, oh, you'll come to Liberia to invest. How many times can we keep buying land and have to use the money we're supposed to take to build the property? We take it to go fight the person in court. How many Liberians going through that same thing? We had a whole show on that. You understand? How many of us, like each time you try, you make the effort, you get discouraged. You understand? So our government need to put things in place to help every one of us as we are trying to help our people back home. They need to do things to make sure that our transition to Africa or our transition to Liberia is easier. Because
So
if yeah.
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Now, say if you keep doing things to discourage people, sometimes people will just walk away and say, "Hey, I gave up. I'm tired. I will just take care of my family, and I'm not going to do anything again." You understand?
All right. And so, folks, those of you guys who are joining us from Monrovia, we say thank you again for joining us on YouTube and Facebook. Those of you who are joining us here in the US or Europe or other parts of the world on YouTube and Facebook, we say thank you for joining us as well. We'd like to hear from you, though. There's a number here on the screen. If you are in the US, there's a number here you can call to actually be part of the conversation. Do you agree with the assessment that, assertion that Liberians in the United States of America, they are depleting the system by actually being dependent on food stamps and welfare, and because of that, the U.S. government made a decision to put us on this list of nations that are banned from getting some sort of immigration travel status. And again, we have to be very clear here. What the State Department is saying, they are not saying they are going to stop Liberians from coming to the U.S. That's not what they're saying. They are just saying there will be some immigration visas that will have challenges getting. Those visas have been banned. So if you are somebody sitting there and say, oh, I'm waiting for my fiance visa to go through and all of those different things, chances are that is going to be frozen temporarily. If you are sitting there and say, oh, I'm waiting, I'm going to go to Liberia, we just got married, I'm going to bring that, those kind of visas will be temporarily frozen. And we don't know what that temporary means. How long it's going to be, we don't know. But if you are coming on a tourist visa, you just coming to visit, and the same way you've been applying for the visa, you can still go to the embassy and apply for the visa. And if they give you the visa, you can still travel. You're coming on tourism, you're coming for business, you're coming to watch the World Cup, whatever it is, you come in, you can still apply for those visas. It will be super expensive, but you can apply for them and you can still come. So we are not here saying that the State Department froze everything and say no more visa. but they are just saying certain immigration visas. And
But
those,
Sharif,
yes.
yeah, no, finish your thought then. Let me chime in. Go ahead.
And so those immigration visas, those are the ones that are going to be frozen for now. But you can still apply your tourist visa and your business visa and all the other ones. Go ahead.
So, Sharif, the B1 visa you're talking about, the tourism visa and business visa, there's something out here that says when you applying for those visa, you have to pay a $15,000 deposit. How many of our brothers and sisters in Liberia that have businesses, right,
Yeah.
can afford to put $15,000 down and tell the U.S. government to hold this money at your discretion? When I go back home, then you
You
can
can,
give me that money back, right?
maybe few people can do it. Benada Euro can do it. Maybe
No, I
those
mean it's the big
are
people
people
that
are
are not saying anything about this, right? The big people
sure.
that will not be saying anything about this, that
Yeah.
they the one will be. So there should be a group of people, Liberian government, whether it's senators or whoever, the foreign ministry should put a team together and sit with the U.S. Ambassador and talk about this, because the fact that they put our name on the based on the series of points you listed. Liberians are not beggar. We come to this country for opportunities, but we never sit down and say we depend on food stamp. I, for one, I did 3 jobs to go to school to get my degree, and I wasn't begging for money. I wasn't getting any assistance. The refugee program that I came on in this country, I had to pay every money back for my airline ticket. You understand? So I don't owe the U.S. government money on that the benefit they brought me here as a refugee. I had to pay that back. The food stamp they gave me, I was here in September. By November, I found a job. I had to pay that food stamp back for 2 months. Whatever they gave me for food stamp, I automatically had to pay it back. And I still have documents to show that. So the U.S. government can show proof that, hey, Stephen Keller, for example, came to America and he accepted welfare. I would like to go back to Liberia tomorrow if they can prove that. You understand? But so many Liberians can stand here and say the same thing I just said, including you. You understand? But our government need to take a stand for people like you are stating, right? But now what I'm saying is, if the government do not take a stand, just show me in my last slide. Let me show people why this is important. I see this as a benefit for us if the government don't take a stand.
Okay, there's a slide up there for you.
You gotta share on screen. Let's see.
Let's see. Let's see. Okay. There you go.
All right. So if you look at this, just look, I took all the West African country, right? And I said 1% of every country, right? If we take the amount of money they spend, if we take the amount of money they spend compared to their GDP, right? How much money are we losing as a continent, right? So just if you look at Nigeria, because Nigeria is the largest, most populated African country, Nigeria spend more, right? Nigerians spend more on traveling. They spend about $7 trillion. If you just take 1% of I think it's like $7 billion on visas, visa application and fee. If Nigerians are paying money for their family member to come, like if I'm sending for my wife, I'm sending for my mom, I'm paying that green card application fee. It's about $7 billion, Sharif. 7 billion with a B. You understand? And then if we look at Liberia, for example, $209 million. If 55,000 Liberians are applying for visa every year, or if 55,000 Liberians in the U.S. are paying money for their family members to come to America every year, right? That's about $209 million. That money can be used to do businesses in Liberia, Sharif. It can be used to do so many things. And if you go to the next slide, people can see the numbers for themselves. Yeah, so this is the numbers here. These are the numbers here. If you just look at what I highlighted over there for Liberia, right? I didn't add the current cost of this here, but Liberia, based on the estimate I have on here, you can even see on the old estimate here was $109 million, Sharif. $109 million. And if you look at the amount of money Africa is losing, about $7 billion every year. Every year. $7 billion Africa is losing every year. And so if we look at this and say, all right, African leaders, let's talk to our people. Since we are included in this band, we're going to make sure that the road to the embassy, when you go in there and you're going to apply for visa, you're going to apply for immigrant visa, we'll make sure that you don't apply, because that money is going to go into a black bucket in America and you'll not see it back. Sherry, you stated earlier, you said, oh, they're not saying don't apply. You can apply. These rules are going to be stringent. You already stated that, hey, when you apply, even when the rules are not stringent, coming from Liberia, coming from Nigeria, the rules, the visa that was granted was not even enough. It was not a lot. Everybody weren't accepted. You understand? So the fact that they not put you on that black list that you were talking about, you already on the black list. So when your money comes through, it goes in the Bank of America, but your application, whether it will get looked at, whether it will get reviewed, whether it will get moved to the next position, that one is left with the immigrant person. And based on this law, you know what the embassy, the State Department even have, that when your application come in from this country, what is the standing procedure? Do we look at it or should we just put it down? You understand where I'm going with this, Sharif?
Sure.
Yeah. So if there's a standing rule that says when these applications come in from these countries on this 75 countries on this list, we will not look at these applications, then our people are wasting money. So me looking at it from a positive perspective, saying let's stop applying until our names come off that list. The American government will be losing about $7 billion a year just from us not applying. And that money, we can send it to our family members, we can send it to our people for them to use it for other purposes. And those in Africa who are applying for these visas, they should stop also, so that that money can stay there. They can use it to build their houses, they can use it to do things that they have to do. This is all I'm saying, So that's it. You can take the slide out.
No, I mean, I appreciate the perspective for sure. I really do appreciate the perspective. And I think it is just one of those things when you really come to look at. Look, the thing that I just can't accept, look, we all would travel around for better opportunities. We move around for better opportunity. Those that came to this country, that called this country their country, they met other people here. Those that came, the Puritans that came from Europe and came to this land, they called it the new land, that came here, they met people here. So they all came here too, because they were running from economic hardship, or from religious persecution, they were running away from tyranny and all of those things. They came to this country. So we all run here for opportunity. Now, the thing I just can't accept, Stephen, is this. I do see the positive side of what you're saying, that instead of applying for these visas, keep the money in the country, keep the money on the continent, and empower yourself and do something to improve your lives. But again, I always want to put the responsibility back on our local governments.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put the responsibility back on our local governments on the continent. And the reason I do that, Stephen, if for some reason, look, we just got to look at it on a macro scale, just a small economic scale.
Mm-hmm.
Me as an individual, if the local government in Liberia, the country is doing well, the private sector is thriving, the public sector is thriving, I will feel it. And the way I feel it, Stephen, is not because I will get the government job or I will get the jobs in the country, but my loved ones, my qualified loved ones in the country who have credential to work, to get work, they will get jobs. And when they get jobs, they will be able to pay their children's school fee. They will be able to do things for themselves and their family members. And when that happens, the pressure on me here goes down a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say I'll feel it. But the local government is not doing well. The private sector is not doing well. And things are not going the way it should go. And those people can find no employment. My pressure level goes high.
Yeah.
The reason it goes high is because my brother is calling for the children's school fee. My sister is calling for the children's school fee. And oh, brother, we get food for the family. And everybody is touching base with me. And even the local friends that you have on Facebook, and I'm not putting anybody business today, but some of the local friends that we have on Facebook, each of them, they will be testing their toes in the water. Oh,
Mhm.
brother, how you doing? Oh, just checking up on you. By the time you respond, tomorrow they will send you another message. Hmm. And the conversation, the way the conversation will go, how you doing? You say, I'm okay. And then by the time you make message, you're asking, how you doing? Oh, then you're about to pick up their stories. And then
Mhm.
the stories start to go, oh, yeah, it's not easy here, us, and all of that. And I'm not saying it's a beggar mentality, but it is because the opportunities are not there. And
Mhm.
so that is why our local government will look at them and say, look, you got to do better so our people can stop being insulted. Because this is a complete insult to our Liberians.
Yeah, and
So
Sherry, just to add another thing there, now they're saying, I saw something from Sis Yaseni, I don't know how true that is, but it said if you are on welfare,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
If you are on welfare, you cannot send money to your family members overseas.
Yeah, there you go.
You understand? So that's another twist, right? And then they're gonna figure out now that oh, we lied to ourselves, right? We lied to ourselves. Um, and they will now say if you are an African and you are in America, when you're sending money to your family members in Africa, you will have to pay taxes because they will, hold on, let me take this call.
Anyway, so basically why are you taking that call? But that's just my thing. And our local government should do better
Hold on one
because
second.
this insult has to stop. The insult must stop. Liberians are not dependent on food stamp. Look, I mean, Steve, I'm not afraid to say that. I know lots of Liberians who are hardworking people. Just tell us you don't want us to come to your country.
Yeah,
Period.
and
We're not gonna
Sherry,
question.
let me just end with that point. Then we'll bring River Says Pro on because he's on the call. What I was saying is when they put the ban down and says anybody that is on food stamp, you shouldn't send money to your family. After 1 year or 6 months, depending on how long they do their analysis, they will figure out that a lot of Africans are still sending money because a lot of Africans are not on food stamp. So then they will come back with a new rule that says if you are an African and you are in America on a temporary visa, you cannot you cannot send money to your family. You understand? And that's where things will start getting different. And we have to start thinking now, do we still want to be in this country? We have to start thinking about what do we do to start going back home to help our continent get better. So let's bring River Says Pro on and he can chime in.
Yes,
Uh,
please. Let's do.
River Says Pro, go ahead. You have the floor.
Yeah, how you guys doing, man?
We're doing good. Happy New Year, brother.
Yeah, same to you, man. I wanted to come on live, man, but the whole house is in a disarray. The kids
No
running
problem,
all
brother.
warm. Yeah. So, but anyway, this is an interesting topic. Thank you very much for all you do, guys. This whole visa thing, look, guys, I wouldn't sweat my government too much. I mean, I understand the unemployment and other things going on, but these are unprecedented times in war history, not just, affecting us Liberia. This Trump administration, this is something that the world has never seen before. So this whole visa ban, we got over 75 other countries, and I'm talking about some powerful countries like Russia, and not just us. We are just the scraping, at the bottom of the barrel. So come up and talking about use this whole welfare thing as a weapon against us. That's absurd. And Brother Sherry was saying, we are hardworking people. Yes, some of them that came on the refugee program because it was like automatic. When you come, you gotta have you register to the area, get food stamp, and then when you start work, they take it from you. Yeah, I was a food stamp recipient, but after I got a job, my first job, I started doing this country $8. They took it away. They said, oh, if you want to get like $20, you got an appointment. The appointment was like 20 minutes away. I think I cut that nonsense off. I'm not gonna go to no appointment just to get $20 food stamp. I cut it off. It been decades now, ever since. We are hardworking people. Yeah, we are hardworking. So if you look at the history of welfare, how this whole thing established. What's the essence of welfare if you got people who can get it? Yes, people get it. There are people they are Liberian who maybe they came here and they became citizen and they work. Some of them are disabled. Some of them go through some situation. Yeah, they have the right to apply for welfare because that's, I don't know if they categorize them within that 48%. If you say Brother Sherry or Brother Dr. Parsley is an American citizen, I don't know, or what kind of Liberian are they talking about? Because are they talking about green card holder and more than 48%, or are they talking about people who come here visiting visa? I don't get it. I still need a clarity. So if a person come here and they become an American citizen and maybe they work toward their life, they become disabled and other things, they have the right to apply for what? That's the whole essence of the program. They got Americans who here, born here, they're benefiting from it. They got go to the food stamp office right now, like I wrote in my comment section. I see young guys with Gucci team. The man got white tee, Nike sneakers. The man go to the food stamp talking about you homeless. Because I used to live right around the place, like 5 minutes from my house. Sometimes when you're walking, you see some of these guys are sitting there and say, wow. And one day I never saw a Liberian around that place over there. So this whole thing, guy, I think it's just denigrating, and it's not just us. They got every other person, every other country on that list. So, like I said, these are unprecedented times. So we have to buckle up, guys. We got 2 more years to go. This might just be the beginning. Like that, the president said, they might move the goalpost. Now they see that Liberians say, okay, if you on this, you on that. What? Somebody filing for their immigrant spouse. What you got to do with welfare, bro? Seriously. If that's a president sending for his wife, he knows that he's equipped. He got a job. In fact, those are some of the requirements for qualification. They see you got a job, you got a resident, your affidavit, your support. All those things are what qualify your spouse to come over. So, man, look, it's just crazy, man, guys. But thanks for having me. I will be following the show. But, it's so frustrating. It's so angering. The thing that is going on in this country, man, is something that I've never expected in the United States, never ever in my life. So, like I said, we should buckle up, man. This could just be the beginning. I mean, it could be a whole tsunami of anti-immigrant policy that this could just be the tip of the iceberg, guys.
So Paul,
buckle up, brother.
Paul, before you go, I will ask you the question that the path that I took with this, right? The U.S. is not going to change their policy for the next 3 years. What do we do as Liberian? What does the Liberian government do to encourage people to start paying this money?
Yeah, I mean, look, you made a good point, Steve. You said that people should stop applying to the embassy because, it's useless. It's completely useless. It even being useless before they even just pass this recent one. Because, look at the percentage of people that kind of like got denied at that embassy. I know dozens of people. Brother Sherry said, they say, I just prayed yesterday, and the pastor said I should go, and they go there, boom, they get denied. But people keep going there because of the situation in the country, the level of destitution, it's not easy. People just want to leave. Thankfully, we're not like the Gambia and other people who get on the boat. You see boats getting captured off the coast of Italy and other things. But to your question, the government has, I don't know, look, the government itself is toothless right now. When I say toothless, it's helpless. You can't go tell the Liberian people, you see, you have to be careful how you walk the fine line with Trump. That's why when Biden went over there, initially we were laughing, he said, yes, sir, yes, sir. But the old man was smart. You can't go tell Liberian people, you know what, don't go apply into the system. When I walk, get across, and the State Department or the American Embassy found out that, these people are discouraging, the leadership of Joseph Boakai is discouraging its people for applying. That's a whole different thing there.
I will pause you on that. We have to stop the thing where we think we'll be making somebody vex when a person already beating you, they're doing everything to harm you, then you say you're doing something to make them vex. When will we all learn that we have to take some kind of stand? The people making free money from us already. Free money before this thing even came to pass. They were making free money from us. So what will happen if our government start educating people, say, hey, Right now, there's a ban in the US. So if you are thinking about applying for visa, or if you are thinking about doing anything, don't do it. We are negotiating with them. When we hear word from them that this thing is lifted, then we'll tell you to start applying. I think that's a message. Go ahead.
Yeah, but okay, quick, brother, Pastor. Okay, so I understand what you're saying, but what if, because those people, they have quota, they have numbers of people. What if the number decreases and the next thing you find out the visa department of the American embassy say, you know what, we're shutting down our doors because we are not getting applications. Imagine
Man, you win some, you lose some.
They say, Joseph, what caused the people to close down their American, they will do that. They say, well, based on the limited number of applicants we are getting, the problem for a reason, we're going to shut down the visa section of the United States Embassy. Section will be open to, diplomatic assistance and other things. Boom. The whole nation will be on fire. So we have to be careful. Even though I always say the beating us, we have to walk
we should keep paying our $200 million, right?
Yeah, but what we do?
Just so we don't get beaten up. Okay.
You see, before Brother Sherry coming to leave. You see what you're saying right now, but the people, we gotta be careful. There will be people out there now that watching the show that say, "Hey, see, they want to hear America. They want to hear America." Now we should, people, yeah, they will flip your statement around right now. They will say, "Steve, they hear America." They get discouraging people from going to the embassy to try their luck. That's how that people will perceive it. The next thing you know, you'll be in trouble.
Yeah, I would like I've been very nice all my life, so at least let me get in small trouble. Yeah.
We got 3 minutes. We got to wrap this thing up. But thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
all right, brother. Thanks for calling in. Sherry,
no, but look, Steve, we got 2 minutes now to wrap this thing up. I know we didn't get to another part of the story that we really want to get to, but this was very, very important that we made it a segment of its own. So I don't regret not getting to something else. But honestly, I think I still stand by. Look, I stand to be corrected. If I were to see a number that came out, because I've been trying to do my own research, wherever I could glean from AI or whatever, I'm trying to do my own research. The number is not matching up for me. And for me, look, I can sit here and make my own assumption that I know exactly why you're putting this tight policy in place. We know, nobody have to think hard. We know why the policy is in place. However, you frame it differently. That's okay. But again, the way I would like to close this from my end today, I just like to say it this way. Liberians in America, when you come to this country, anyway, Stephen, I really want Stephen to come back on. Come back on because I really want you to come and take your 2 cents and end it, because by the time I finish my last saying, I just want the church to say amen and we close. So now I can always No, go ahead, brother. Do your
Oh, so you want me to do my thing before you go ahead? Okay. All right, let me go full speed.
Yeah, I'm the host.
Yeah, so Liberians, this is Dr. Positive. I gave myself this name for some reason, and today I see the importance of that name. If Liberia should rise, our leaders have to take a stand to say, I'm going to fight for my people, even if I'm standing against Goliath. America has said that, hey, your people are not coming to this country. They made up lie on our own Liberian people. We work very hard in this country, and they are saying we are all beggars. Y'all can say all y'all want that we can clean poo-poo and stuff, but that's what people do. People work. People do 3 jobs, 4 jobs to take care of their responsibility. And no Liberian here in America is a beggar. And what I'm saying to you guys is we spend so much money to make these people country better. The money we spend to bring our family members, the money we spend to send money for our people, the money we spend to even pay for visa application that even not get even consider is a lot of money. And at some point, we need to slow down on that payment. And since they have a ban, unlimited, indefinite ban, I'm saying to our Liberian people, do not pay for visa application at the American embassy until we can hear something to say that, hey, this ban has been lifted. Liberians, you can now start applying for visa. So that's what I'm saying. Until they lift that ban, let's not waste $200 million anymore. That $200 million, we can use it to finish our houses. We can use it to send our brothers and sisters to school. We can use it to do so many other things, because once you apply and your country is on that list, nobody know whether your application will be reviewed or it will be thrown in some kind of shredder or something. So let's not waste our money. And I want to thank all of you guys that watch. Thank all of you guys that share the show. Please follow and share. Liberia Shall Rise is here to do things that will better our country. So please follow us. Again, thank you so much. Sharif, it's all yours.
All right, everybody. Again, we say thank you for those who were able to join us today. We thank you for your comments. We thank you for your inputs. Reverses Pro, thanks for the call. And those in Liberia, thank you so much for always joining us. And thank you for sharing the broadcast as always. We will be here next week by the grace of God with another segment. We don't know yet, but something is going to come up. Something always comes up. And so I want to just speak to our Liberian people in this country. I know how hard you work. You know, I've been very fortunate to live in several cities where there are strong connections to Liberian communities, whether it's Texas, you know, whether it's in Minnesota, where we got lots of friends over there. You know, Liberians are very, very hardworking. I don't know too many of you in this country who are dependent on food stamps. I don't know too many of you, like us Liberians, who are dependent on welfare. I know too many of you guys who spend too much, and sometimes I even tell my friends, you working too much, you know, and so that I know Liberians are. And so to see us on some kind of list that say we are depleting the coffers of the US by being in food stamp, it upsets me. But to prove ourselves, you know, sometimes when someone telling you lie, and then you say, no, I'm not lying, well, you just play into that person's hand. So the best way we can showcase ourselves is to remain vigilant, remain hardworking, remain law-abiding, and remain very patriotic to Liberia, our country. And let us not fall in this trap of, you know, just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let us remain law-abiding, hardworking people, and let us be very, very, very responsible in our decisions as we make them. And if for some reason hardships come, the benefits are there for you to take it for a reason. That's why you work and you pay into it. And so if it is opportunity to use it, use it. But if you are part of a 0 point something percent who is actually involved in anything that could be seen as fraudulent, desist from it. Again, like I said, I know too many Liberians to do that. On that note, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to another edition of Liberia Shall Rise on Sunday next week with another topic. I believe it's going to be Dr. Quita Roberts and I will be here talking about mental health issue next week Sunday. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. God bless.